Gold is still one of the most popular commodities in central bank reserves. The precious metal is relatively safe and stable compared to other assets, and many nations include it as part of their forex, foreign exchange, reserves. Some countries have exceptionally high percentages of gold holdings, and in this video, you'll get to know the top 30. Stay tuned. The European nation holds 125.7 metric tons of gold, which represents 19% of Sweden's total forex reserve. Egypt's central bank holds a total of 128.2 tons of gold in its vaults. This corresponds to 28% of the nation's total forex reserve. The South American country has 129.6 tons of gold, but the figure only represents 3.8% of Brazil's total forex reserve. The South American country has 129.6 tons of gold, but the figure only represents 3.8% of Brazil's total forex reserve. The Philippines comes next with 159.1 tons. This figure corresponds to a 10.2% share of the nation's total forex reserve. Venezuela's central bank has 161.2 tons of gold in its vaults, which is an 83% share of the country's forex reserves. The North African country holds 173.5 tons of gold. This constitutes 21.2% of Algeria's forex reserves. Singapore comes next on the list with 215.1 tons of gold. The precious metal represents a rather small percentage of the country's total forex reserve, 5.4%. The European country has 227.4 tons of gold. Gold holdings represent 49.9% of Belgium's forex reserves. Thailand holds 234.5 tons of gold in its vaults, but this figure represents just 9.5% of the nation's total forex reserves. The European nation has 279.9 tons of gold, which is 68.3% of the country's forex reserves. Spain's central bank holds 281.5 tons of gold. The precious metal represents 25% of the country's total forex reserves. Kazakhstan comes next with 290.5 tons of gold, which constitutes a 57.8% share of the nation's forex reserves. Kazakhstan comes next with 290.5 tons of gold, which constitutes a 57.8% share of the nation's forex reserves. Saudi Arabia places 16th on the list with 323.1 tons of gold, but this only constitutes 4.7% of the country's forex reserves. Uzbekistan comes next on the list with 367.6 tons of gold, which is a fairly high percentage of the country's forex reserves at 77%. Portugal has a gold reserve of 382.6 tons. This number corresponds to 84% of the nation's total forex reserves. Taiwan has a total gold reserve of 422.4 tons. Gold constitutes just 4.7% of the country's total forex reserves. Poland comes next with 509.3 tons in gold holdings, representing a 22% share of the nation's forex reserves. The Netherlands has 612.4 tons of gold in its vaults. This corresponds to 64.9% of the country's forex reserves. Turkey cracks the top 10 with 623.9 tons of gold. The country's gold holdings represent 43.6% of its forex reserves. The Japanese central bank has 845.9 tons of gold in its vaults. The nation has a gold share of 6.6% when it comes to its total forex reserves. India comes next with 879.6 tons of gold, which corresponds to 13.4% of the country's forex reserves. The European country holds 1,039.9 tons of gold in its central bank. This is a 9.6% share of the nation's forex reserves. China has 2,292.3 tons of gold in its vaults, but this corresponds to only 6.5% of the country's total forex reserves. Russia comes next with 2,332.7 metric tons of gold. Gold represents 29.5% of the nation's reserves. France has a total of 2,437 tons of gold in its central bank vaults. The precious metal constitutes 74.7% of the nation's forex reserve. The third place goes to a European country. Italy's central bank holds 2,451.8 tons of gold. This is 74.1% of the country's forex reserves. Germany is the runner-up when it comes to gold holdings. The European nation has 3,351.2 tons in its vaults, which correspond to 77.1% of the nation's forex reserves. The U.S. is the country with the highest gold reserve in the world. America has 8,133.5 tons of gold, which constitutes 74.9% of the nation's forex reserves.